What up, players? It's Warboss here up in this mode. I am filming this in the future. Marty, I'm filming this in the future, Marty. And I've got to tell you something. You need to get your Agrax Earthshade ready. At the end of the video, I take you through all of the shades that we use to get the model looking like this. But I stop at Null Oil on the bandages, and after I did that, I realized that there's some things that I wanted to paint in Agrax Earthshade, so I thought I'd just tack that in. So we're going to use Agrax Earthshade on the hilt of the sword, the straps, the little wood piece here on the hammer, the necklace all the way around, and the little baggie hanging from his belt, and the belt itself. So that is what our model looks like at this point. And if you have any questions, feel free to write in the comments. Stay tuned for part 4, where we'll be doing highlights. This one was really getting the last of the base coats and everything done, and also doing a little bit more work on the fire. And next we're going to be doing some highlights. So we'll see you then, players. Alright, ladies and gents, back to work, shall we? So, as cool as this flame looks, we're going to let it sit for a little while, and we are going to work on the skin of our ogre. So we're going to be taking Cadian Flesh Tone and I'm going to highlight up this skin. Just kind of following the lines of the muscles, and you don't have to worry about covering everything, because the wash or the shade will help a lot with that. And now we're just getting a nice even coverage. It'll be nice to get to the wash, I think. This model's still looking pretty flat, all things considered. One of the things that I love about the Ogre models, Ogre Kingdoms models, is that they are just so beefy. Like the proportions of all of their muscles are just so outlandishly fantastical that it's fun to practice your techniques on them. Still can't believe how awesome that Cassandora yellow looks. I mean, it's not perfect, but considering that it went over a pure white base coat, it is just really amazing. will say though that the Bugman's glow kind of makes me wish that it was a little bit more akin to the Talarn flesh that we lost. Seems like Cadian flesh tone is very similar to the Talarn flesh, but it's not a base color, so you have to build up to it. And Talarn flesh was just so good. I think Talarn flesh, Deneb stone, Necron abyss, Caradon granite, Khemri brown, Calton brown, like the old Foundation range had some of the best colors. It's a shame they're all gone. They'll live on in our memories, old timers. Stupid fine cast. Look how like bumpy the texture is. Ugh. I spent so long green stuffing this shoulder. For those of you who saw my unboxing video, so much work went into making this guy paintable. We'll say that the model is going to look really nice once it's all done up. It's already starting to be a little bit more charming because we're adding different colors. The colors all seem to contrast really nicely. That spout of flame looks just so awesome. So we're getting there, folks. We definitely are getting there. making some mistakes, but we can just clean over that in later phases. Another great thing about Ogre models is they're very forgiving. What I mean by that is that you really, because there's so much surface area, you can take your time doing a technique and getting it right, and if you make any mistakes, if you mess up, then it really isn't too obvious. You can always go back and fix it, and it's a lot easier to fix than on a smaller model. As a great model to practice if you're getting into OSL. I think I've said that before, object source lighting. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at it. I don't feel comfortable doing it in a tutorial because I'm afraid that I might teach you the wrong, the wrong techniques, and I don't want people to dislike the video or get mad at me, so I am going to leave that to you to do, work that out on your own. I am going to try to see if I could do, but it won't be, as crazy. As the White Dwarf heavy metal version. Alright, that should just about do it for his skin. There is actually, if you look in the mask, right on the upper lip, his upper lip is sticking out, and like his bottom fangs, tusks or something. So we're gonna have to go in and paint that, but can't really see it. You can a little bit. Stupid Finecast. Finecast is making me mad. Okay. So now we are going to take some. Hopefully this will work. We're going to take some brass scorpion, that funky scorpion, and we are going to paint the, looks like the inside design of this guy's gut plate. Wait. See, look. I don't understand. How is this acceptable. I just shook the paint up. Now it's all like orangey and red. And where's the metallic? It should look like this, right? This is what it should look like. What? How is this? How is this right? It's like. Ooh. This is not pleasing to me. Okay, I guess you have to wipe off the orange on a towel and get just the metallics. I guess that's what I'm doing. There we go. And I guess this is supposed to represent a volcano erupting. I don't know. But it looks like to me, it's the Rorschach test of Ogre Kingdoms. What does this gut plate look like to you? Ta-da! Alright. Finally get to that armlet he's wearing. Storm Vermin Fur. Okay, and I'm going to be using Dark Flesh. I still only have my old Dark Flesh. I'm not sure what the new one is called, but I'm going to use this to highlight up the bandages around the knife. So I'm just painting each individual wrapping, so the shading comes from the divide between each little wrapping thing. As you can see, I also painted up the little tusks at the bottom. They kind of escaped my notice in the earlier videos just because they're so small and at the bottom of the model pretty much. And I don't like looking at this fail cast staff. Then you end up with this. Pretty good. Now let's highlight up this loincloth. We are going to work our way up with Death World Forest. might be too bright. This might be the next highlight up. Yeah, what else do we have here? Castellan green. Let's go back down with that. Shall we? Yeah, Castellan green should be the first highlight you do. So, sorry about that. Castellan green. Oh, Firebelly, you got too much booty in the pants. Here you go again, making me feel dirty for painting you. Why would they put a hole there? Unless it's just a really big miscast. I'm assuming it is. Does your Firebelly have a hole, like, right on his junk, like that? The only thing I can assume is that it's a designer joke. And they're like, hee, fire comes out of both ends of this guy, hee. He had too much spicy fire beetle soup. Touch up this guy's bracelet and let's get started with the nails. After we do the nails, then we're gonna wash the skin, but it's starting to look pretty good. It's starting to come along very nicely to what the finished product is going to look like. So, all this paint on the side. So we're going to start with Rackard flesh. I've always found that this is where you really see how messed up your fine cast sculpt is at this point. When you're painting on the fingernails, your fingernails look like just horribly, horribly mutated hands. That means it's time to call customer service, which I should have done. I should have done it. I should have done it. Why didn't I do it? Because I'm stubborn. I'm stubborn as in pork. I'm a glutton for punishment. I don't know. Maybe I still will. Just be like, hey GW, I bought this figure from you and I painted it up in a tutorial I'm looking at right now and it's ticking me off, so I want another one. What's wrong with your model, sir? Hello, go to my YouTube channel maybe, and perhaps you've heard of me, Warboss Tay. No. Can't say that I have heard of you. Oh my gosh! I'm like Warboss Tay, I'm super popular in the wargaming scene. Oh, do you know Joey Berry? Maybe. Why? Because her videos are great. I love watching Joey Berry's videos. She's great. She posts great videos. Okay, the last thing we're going to do today is some shading. So, we're going to start with Carolberg Crimson. What we're going to do is we're going to choose every other deep orange pocket in the flame. And we're going to paint a little bit of this shade in. So you can see how I kind of did it on the back here. kind of zoom out a little bit. There we go. Something like that. So on the front, I'm going to choose here, here. Ew, bug. And if you know how to do this kind of fire effects and you have some tips that you'd like to share, please, by all means, share in the comments. Fire, OSL, non-metallic metals, those are kind of my weaknesses. So anything you've got that might be able to help would be great. But I mean, like, you don't have to be a great painter. I don't consider myself, you know, a professional painter, but like, you could be completely new to the hobby and paint your spout up completely in white, and then remember what I did, I just slapped that Cassandora yellow on it and just made it look completely epic and just, oh, so amazing. That alone was worth the price hike. No, it wasn't. What am I saying? Alright, Drakenhof Nightshade or a Sermon Blue, if you have the old one. I said or because I accidentally left my Drakenhof Nightshade with the cap not screwed on completely, or not popped back on completely, so it's starting to dry up. I lost a lot of it. Or that could just be me thinking that I lost a lot of my Drakenhof Nightshade. It could have been all the Night Lords I was painting. That could be it too. Are we on the focus, Igor? Very good, master. Good boy. My little buttercup. Be quiet. Oh, sorry. Just trying to pass the time. Oh, none of that My Little Buttercup business, Igor. Alright, and that's going to dry really dark, and that'll give us a nice dark base to paint up in the next video. Okay, so we're going to do the greens now. First we're going to paint Coelia green shade. Just going to give it a hint of green. Under that Castellan green. So it's going to tie really nicely into the, what's our base color? Our Caliban green. Come, Mr. Caliban, Caliban the green. Don't eat those fire beetle burritos. This is gonna happen to you. Rakelin Flesh Shade. With ogres, I found that I like to start at the bottom and work my way up. These new shades, they tend to gravitate towards the bottom anyway, right? So kind of good. You can pull the colors up. Rather than dragging them down and leaving them in puddles at the base. New shades even more than the old washes. You want to make sure you're not leaving a giant puddle. Pools really easily, these new shades. The Ogre is having such a big area for the flesh. It is just so... I mean, this is the part that really, to me, shading the flesh really just makes the model come alive. It's up to you to control your brush, how much paint is on your brush, where the wash flows, where the shade flows, where the red shade flows. Oh, it's such a sad book. This guy's got a bandage behind his head, holding the mask on. I'm gonna have to paint that on later. Doesn't that look just so much better? Depth and transitional colors, the light bouncing off of what it's supposed to, the shades flowing into the recesses, everything just kind of coming together in perfect harmony. Woo, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Gonna put a little bit more, do a little bit more. We're gonna take our Nuln Oil and we're gonna wash the strap of the hammer. Is you really want to spread this Nuln Oil out, because this really should be going in the cracks rather than all over. So don't put too much on your brush. I'm also going to take that Nuln Oil and paint the bandages. Alright, I'm about to cut because I've only got 30 seconds left, but to see the finished product, just jump back to the beginning. I'm going to finish up doing these washes and then I'll film the little intro part, and you can see what it all looks like all done up together. See you in part 4. Oh, one last thing, don't forget to check out my friend D at Projectonegaming. He's doing a special for the month of July. If you scan the barcode that is at the end of this video, which you're about to see in a couple of seconds, it'll take you to an email where you can get a 20% discount off of any commission job, and he's got some great stuff. He's the guy that was doing the pre-heresy World Eaters, and he's got the Scryer's Dark Wolves going, and just great stuff. So check him out, support him, he's great, he supports me, and get that discount if you want a commission job done from him. And also don't forget, he's doing a Project Necrons, and he's going to give it away at the end of the thing sometime in August. So free army, oh my gosh, a free army, amazing. So go check that out before it is too late. Okay, latest players.